My mom's had a really rough week at work, and she'll probably have a couple more. And so she was really sad when she came home yesterday. So I am now headed up. I got dressed, I took a shower. I'm headed to go buy her some flowers and surprise her for lunch and try to cheer her up a little bit. I'm on a very strict deadline for a television show that we're doing post-production on, and so it's going to hurt us by taking time off, but I think back at all the times my mom has been there for me, how much she has always sacrificed for her children. You know, I always think about how my mom took a job at a private elementary school because we didn't have enough money to be sent there otherwise, and it was in an effort to keep me out of a school system that was really poor for elementary through high school. And you know, she did not like her job at all, but she did it anyways. I'm reminded of my mom's general attitude towards family, how important it is to her that, you know, her sons didn't grow up hating one another and fighting one another, how important it is to her to stay married to my dad. And they've been married for over 30 years, I think 33 or 34 years now, and just how self-sacrificial and how active her love is. And how that has impacted me growing up as a young man, and how it has shown me what to look for in a future wife, and how it has shown me what to look for in a future mother of my children, and just how, I guess, a lot of women pale in comparison to my mom, and how hard it's going to be for me to find someone who has the integrity and character she has, a self-sacrifice, that she would give up parts of her career, parts of her retirement, parts of her enjoyment to be with her kids at home, just whatever it took to raise my brother and I. I'm reminded of how tender-hearted and emotionally giving my mom is. Every day it seems like she's having to call child services to deal with these little children that just have screwed up parents, whether their father's beating them or their mom, or they're always getting in arguments, or just so much child neglect and child abuse goes on in this world, and my mom's on the front lines of that every day, and I know it's such an emotional toll on her. And you know, she loves helping those kids, and she originally was a social worker because she's so compassionate. It just fits her personality to have that career, but it's such an emotional toll on her, and I know it saddens her. And the main thing about, you know, the current way public school systems are ran right now, the guidance counselors get a whole lot of the standardized testing, the regulations, and just how screwed up academia has become. It's all gotten placed on the guidance counselor, that person in your school who is supposed to be there for you whenever you're going through depression or hard times with family, or in the case of these little kids, traumatizing things, is no longer accessible because they're piled up with so much of stupid work trying to standardize test these children. And that's what really makes my mom dislike doing what she loves to do, because they've taken all the good out of it, and so I think that's what really gets her burned out. I think about how my mom doesn't take the easy way out, how even when she's sick, she will go to work if it's needed. She grew up with very little money, very poor, and you know, tons of siblings, and so she knows what it's like to lack, and she knows what it's like to have a strong work ethic. And you know, even though she's pretty well off with my dad today, she continues to have that strong work ethic. I remember one time in high school, I was expecting a certain grade I did not get, and a lot of money hinged on it because of a scholarship. Ended up in high school averaging with a 3.74 GPA, and in college they counted as a 4.0 because they took out a lot of the advanced classes. But I was 0.1 or 0.01 of a GPA away from this scholarship, and I'd worked really, really hard to get to that point, the 3.75, and I just remember being so depressed and crying and in an edit bay there one day. And my mom apparently just heard the tone in my voice, that she often does whenever I am down. And I remember she just took off work and came and met me and drove all the way to my school and found me in my edit bay and cheered me up. And, out of most people, I disappointed her probably the most in that circumstance, because, I had promised I would do so and so well on things, but she was also the one who was the most compassionate and grace-filled towards me whenever I failed to achieve those goals. And she's always been supportive of the things that I've tried my hand at in my life. She's always been, I guess, my #1 cheerleader. My mom telling me in college, whenever I was trying to decide, whether it'd be a good idea to stay dating this one girl or not, my mom would say things like, James, whoever you marry has to be your #1 cheerleader, because the profession that you're going into and the things you're trying to do with your life, you're going to need that support structure. And, she was so right about that. I'm just always amazed, I guess, at how wise my mom is, and how gifted she is at counseling people, what she does for a living, or tries to, even though the school makes it hard. My mom loves Jesus, and I don't think you can find a better quality in a parent than that. She is actually the one who started taking me to church late in elementary school, after I was going through a bout of depression. And, she took me to a doctor, and that doctor recommended I, go to a therapist. And my mom was going to do that if I wanted to, but she also took me to church, and really, I owe her a debt for answering God's call on my life and on her life, for taking me to church and introducing me, giving me the opportunity to meet God without actually forcing it upon me. She made the introduction and she taught me from a young age, but she never made me feel like it was a chore. And because of how my mom went about ministering to me in my life, I have a more solid foundation and faith than I ever could have had otherwise. When I was real young, I struggled with lots and lots of nightmares. Just horrible things about family members getting murdered and demons doing things, and it was just awful. And that was around the time I did start to become a Christian. And I just remember my mom staying up late with me, praying for me, comforting me, getting other people to pray for me, and helping me through that hard time in like a child's life, going through those kind of nightmares. I owe a great deal to her for giving me the tools to overcome fear all throughout my schooling in elementary school, middle school, and high school. She's always been encouraging. She's always given me the tools to defeat and conquer any obstacles in my way, and that's because she's always believed in me. Okay, I'm at Publix. I'm going to grab some food, probably something that's already pre-cooked here, and I'm going to grab some flowers. Okay, I got my sandwich and some raspberry tea. Now it's time to find some pretty flowers. Okay, I just got the goods. The people at the checkout thought it was really sweet that I was surprising my mom for lunch. I hope she thinks so too. So I'm on my way to mom's school still. Just a little philosophy behind the surprise, and a little bit of practicalness around what a surprise is. Philosophically speaking, a surprise is the greatest form of delight, because you do not have any time to work up any anxiety over what's about to happen. A lot of times, whenever you are enjoying yourself greatly, if you start to actually think about the fact you are having fun, or think about the fact you are enjoying yourself, and there was a police officer back there shooting radar, then that ruins the delight or the fun of the moment. Now, on a practical level, why the surprise may be a bad thing is because the person you are surprising may be prone to heart attacks, or more, I guess, common, they are too busy or aren't in the mood to have anything else thrown on them. And so a surprise can go very awry if you're interrupting, basically, something important. Okay, we are inside. The lady at the front desk really approved of surprising Mom, so we'll see if she's available.
Is someone talking?
Hi, Mom.
Hey!
I brought you flowers.
I needed these. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Aw, how sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. How's your day going?
It's not a good day. It's okay.
Yeah.
God's given me mercy and grace, and He's good to me all the time. So.
Well, I got us lunch.
Oh, great! I haven't eaten, that's for sure.
Okay, so I just got done meeting with my mom and surprising her, and it all turned out really well. She needed a lot of help on some work that she had to get done before a deadline, and thankfully I was there to help her, and so we got it all done. One thing I'd like you to notice about whenever I did surprise her and I asked her how her day went, she said that it was awful, but God is still good, and she said something about His grace and His mercy, and that's what I love about my mom. That's what I was saying earlier about how she loves Jesus. She can find her joy in something external to what she's doing, and she's always giving God credit where credit is due for His goodness. So I hope you guys have enjoyed my Mother's Day little video I'm going to edit together for her. Finally, Mom, I would just like to tell you that I love you very much, and you are an inspiration to me, and you continue to be a wonderful mother to me, and I look forward to having grandchildren for you so you can be just as good of a grandmother to them as you have been a mother to me. I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Bye-bye.